In today's digital world, coding is everywhere. It powers our phones, websites, and even our cars. Learning to code might seem daunting, but it's an incredibly rewarding skill. Not only can it open up new career opportunities, but it also teaches you valuable problem-solving skills applicable to various aspects of life. Think of coding as a way to communicate with computers. You learn to give them instructions in a language they understand. This allows you to create websites, build apps, analyze data, and so much more. The possibilities are endless. The best part? Coding can be fun. It's like solving a puzzle, and the feeling of accomplishment when your code works is truly satisfying. Just like learning any new skill, coding requires patience and practice, but the rewards are well worth the effort. So if you're ready to embark on this exciting journey, let's dive into the world of coding and explore how you can get started. Coding, in simple terms, is the process of writing instructions for computers to follow. These instructions, written in a specific programming language, tell the computer what actions to perform. Imagine it like writing a recipe for your computer to bake a virtual cake. Each line of code represents a specific instruction. These instructions can range from simple commands, like displaying text on the screen, to complex algorithms that power artificial intelligence. Just like we use different languages to communicate with each other, programmers use different programming languages to communicate with computers. Some popular programming languages include Python, JavaScript, Java, and C++. Each language has its strengths and is suited for different types of tasks. Don't worry if this sounds a little abstract right now. As we move forward, we'll break down these concepts into bite-sized pieces and guide you through the process of writing your first lines of code. With so many programming languages available, choosing where to start can feel overwhelming. The good news is, there's no single best language. The right language for you depends on your interests and what you want to create. Python is an excellent language for beginners. It's known for its readability and clear syntax, making it easier to understand and write code. Python is a versatile language used for web development, data science, and even artificial intelligence. If you're interested in building websites, JavaScript is a must-learn. It's the language that makes websites interactive and dynamic. HTML and CSS are also essential for web development, focusing on the structure and design of web pages. For those interested in building mobile apps, Java for Android and Swift for iOS are popular choices. These languages allow you to create apps that run on millions of smartphones and tablets worldwide. The key is to research and choose a language that aligns with your goals. Once you've selected a language, you can focus on learning its fundamentals and start building projects. Before you start coding, you'll need a few essential tools. Setting up your coding environment is easier than you might think. First, you need a text editor. This is where you'll write your code. Popular text editors include Visual Studio Code, Atom, and Sublime Text. These editors offer features like syntax highlighting and auto-completion. Next, install an interpreter or compiler for your programming language. This translates your code into instructions the computer can understand. Once installed, you're ready to start coding. Section 5. Grasping the basics, variables. One of the fundamental concepts in coding is the use of variables. Variables are like containers that store information in your program. You can think of them as labeled boxes, where you put data that your program needs to use. You create a variable by giving it a name and assigning it a value. For example, you could create a variable called name and assign it the value Alice. Now, whenever you use the variable name in your code, it will refer to the value Alice. Variables can store different types of data, such as numbers, text, or true/false values. The type of data a variable can hold depends on the programming language you are using. For instance, in Python, you don't need to explicitly declare the type of data a variable will hold. Python automatically infers it. Understanding variables is crucial because they allow you to work with data dynamically in your programs. You'll use variables to store user input, perform calculations, and manipulate information as your code runs. Section 6. Understanding loops in coding. Loops are essential in programming. They let you repeat code multiple times, useful for processing lists or datasets. Common loops are for loops and while loops. A for loop iterates over a sequence. A while loop runs as long as a condition is true. For example, printing numbers 1 to 10. Loops make code efficient and concise. They automate repetitive tasks. Section 7. Mastering conditional statements. Conditional statements allow your program to make decisions based on specific conditions. They use if, and else keywords to control the flow of your code. Imagine you're writing a program to check if a user is old enough to vote. You would use a conditional statement to check if the user's age is greater than or equal to the voting age. If the condition is true, the code within the if block executes. If the condition is false, the code within the else block executes. Here's a simple example. Age equals sign 18 if age was equals sign 18 print, you are eligible to vote. Else print, you are not eligible to vote yet. Conditional statements add logic and decision-making capabilities to your programs. They allow your code to respond differently based on various factors, making your programs more dynamic and interactive. Section 8. Starting small, your first projects. Now that you have a basic understanding of variables, loops, and conditional statements, it's time to put your knowledge into practice. Start with small, manageable projects that allow you to apply what you've learned. One classic beginner project is building a simple calculator. You can create a program that takes two numbers as input from the user and then performs arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Another great project is creating a text-based game. You can build a simple guessing game where the computer generates a random number, and the user has to guess it within a certain number of tries. As you work on these projects, don't be afraid to experiment and make mistakes. Coding is all about trial and error. The more you practice, the more comfortable you'll become with the concepts and syntax. Section 9. Free resources for coding success. The internet is brimming with free resources for learning to code. Websites like Codecademy, Khan Academy, and FreeCodeCamp offer interactive coding tutorials and courses for all skill levels. These platforms provide a structured learning path and allow you to write code directly in your browser, making it easy to get started. YouTube is another fantastic resource for coding tutorials. Many experienced programmers share their knowledge and teach coding concepts in an engaging and accessible way. You can find tutorials on specific programming languages, frameworks, and even project-based tutorials that guide you through building real-world applications. In addition to online resources, there are countless free coding books and ebooks available. These resources provide in-depth explanations of coding concepts and often include exercises and projects to solidify your understanding. Remember, learning to code is an ongoing journey. Embrace these free resources and never hesitate to seek help or guidance when needed. Section 10. Patience and persistence. Keys to learning. Learning to code takes time and effort. It's essential to be patient with yourself and embrace the learning process. Don't get discouraged if you don't understand a concept immediately or if you encounter errors in your code. Errors are a natural part of coding and an opportunity to learn and improve. Persistence is key. Set aside dedicated time each day or week to practice coding. Consistency is crucial for reinforcing your understanding and building momentum. Break down complex problems into smaller, more manageable steps. Start with the basics and gradually work your way up to more advanced concepts. Celebrate small victories along the way. Every line of code you write is a step forward in your coding journey. Remember, learning to code is not a race. It's about enjoying the process of discovery and problem solving. Embrace the challenge and celebrate your progress. Section 11. Embracing the coding community. Joining the coding community can significantly enhance your learning experience. Connect with other learners, ask questions, and share your progress. Online forums, social media groups, and coding boot camps offer supportive communities where you can connect with fellow coding enthusiasts. Participating in coding challenges and hackathons is a great way to test your skills, collaborate with others, and build impressive projects for your portfolio. These events provide a fun and challenging environment to push your boundaries and learn from experienced programmers. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. The coding community is vast and welcoming, and there are always people willing to help and support you. Embrace the opportunity to learn from others, share your knowledge, and contribute to the ever-evolving world of technology.